welcome to another episode of The Stash. I am your host, Shay, and today we're going to be going over our updated brand-sponsored recipes tool. We have completely updated the UX, the UI, the editing functionality, and some of the budgeting functionality. So we're going to be going through the whole process from start to finish today. I will be starting out from the perspective of a brand. I will be building out the recipe, adding a sponsor to that recipe, sharing it with my retail partner, and then I will be going through the process of the retailer, from installing that recipe to editing some of the copy in the campaign, and then waiting for approval for the brand so that I am able to send those sponsored assets. So we'll go through the entire process from start to finish, and the beginning of that process is building the recipe as a brand. So you can see I am in our brand's demo platform, and I will be starting by going to Manage Recipes. From Manage Recipes, I can navigate to the Create Recipe button, which will bring up the new version of our recipe builder. For those that are familiar with our brand-sponsored recipe builder, you'll notice that it looks a little bit more clean, it's more linear, and we've broken down into a step-by-step process. So step one is I want to name this recipe for my retail partner to reference. We'll be calling this High IQ Promo. For description, hey, we are dropping our new line of flour. We'd love to reach your consumers with some communication on. Okay, let's say we're going to build a text message. All right, and then I'm going to tag it as flour. So what I've done is I have created notifications for the retailer so that they can reference that recipe card and quickly understand what am I being sent? Why has my vendor decided to send me this information, right? It is a promotion at my dispensary. They are announcing some new flour, and they have built a text for the flour category. If I select Next, I will now be able to build and add the ingredients to the recipe, right? And some ingredients are audience segmentation, which the brands can build. Also marketing campaigns, which I want my retail partner to send to their opted-in list. We'll start with an audience. Let's go ahead and call it the High IQ Promotional Group. As the brand, I can also create new audiences directly from the recipe card. I don't have to pre-build them on the Audiences tab. I can create them from the card, right? And you'll see that it'll slide in from the right side of your screen, and you can click out of it. Same with the campaigns. I can create campaigns directly from the recipe card, or I can add campaigns, which I have already built. Actually, I believe it's the flour drop. There we go. I simply select, move, okay, now I'm good to go. You'll also notice discounts are included in the Audiences and campaign function. Discounts, this is a super admin function only. So the only people which will be able to add and create discounts for brand-sponsored recipes only are the account managers and CSMs here at Alpine. So if a vendor wanted to build a discount for one of their participating retailers, you would need to reach out to your contact with Alpine in order to do so. Select Next, share with retail partners, show this on the recipe store. If no is selected and I create the recipe, this will be saved as a draft. If I want to make it public, I will start by selecting yes. Support email. This is someone at the brand's organization that the retailer can reach out to for questions about the recipe. Think of this as the marketing contact at the brand. Available on the recipe store. Let's say I want this available right now, so I'm going to select yesterday. Just say it's available right now. We're saying it was available yesterday. Expires from the recipe store. I no longer want the retailer to have access to this recipe card and the included assets on the 29th at 10 a.m. Pacific. Halt activations of campaigns after. I no longer want this marketing campaign to be sent to consumers after X date. Same, because the promotional period for my new flour is ending on the 29th at 10 a.m. Pacific. Accessible to only specific retailers. Yes. I need to now select my retailers as the brand. I'm going to be sending this to High IQ, right? High IQ is the participating retailer on Alpine who is carrying my new line of flour, and I want to reach their consumers. the retailer is listed, and the number of stores are listed. Do I want to pay for this campaign? As the brand, I can select no, and the retailer will be charged for any marketing spend associated with this campaign. I can select yes, set a maximum budget for my retailer. If I say no, then I will be paying for whatever that actual spend may be. Whether that text message is going to cost $500 or it's going to cost $5. Whatever that actual spend is, I, the brand, will be invoiced for it. I can also split. I can say I'm going to pay 50% of this text message campaign, and the retailer is going to pay the remaining 50%. I can also set a maximum budget, right? I can say I only want to budget $500 for this message, for this text message. Any above cost, the campaign will turn off, or any above cost will be passed down to the retailer. We'll be covering budget specifics in a different video, but for now, we are just going to go ahead and say, I want to pay for the campaign. I do not want to set a budget. I'm willing to pay for whatever this marketing spend will cost. I'm going to create the recipe. It's going to go live on the recipe store. I've now completed the process from the brand's perspective, and now I will be switching to the retailer's perspective. And finally, I'm going to be covering different types of budgeting which the brand can add to their recipes. So you'll see here that I have chosen HighIQ and Alpine IQ as two retailers who will be eligible to receive the campaign included in this recipe card. HighIQ has 3 stores, Alpine IQ has 1 store. Okay? So in the previous example, I simply paid for the campaign and did not set a budget and paid for 100%. In this example, I will be setting a maximum budget. So do I want to pay for this campaign? Yes. I would like to set a maximum budget. Now I can configure my budgets. Let's say I want my maximum budget to be $1,000. Okay? I can choose to divide equally. Now each retailer included in this recipe card will have access to an equal share of my $1,000 budget. Let's say since I know HighIQ has 3 stores and Alpine IQ has 1 store, I can slide this down, and let's say I'm going to be giving them $300 while I will be giving, there we go, right there, almost. Okay, so I have budgeted $1,000, and HighIQ gets $700 and Alpine IQ gets $300. Okay, so in this scenario, I can now choose the continue sending button. As the brand, I can choose to continue sending. If I select yes, what this is going to do is this is going to reach as many people at each retailer with the allotted budget. So in HighIQ example, I have given them $700 for this marketing campaign. For this marketing campaign, if the actual send is $500, then the brand will only be charged $500 because we haven't even reached your maximum budget. In this example with the continue sending, yes, if that actual spend is $800, then the brand will pay $800 and the retailer will pay the remaining $100 in order to reach the entire list. I can also select no. If I select no, then the campaign will shut off after $700 has been reached, right? So in each example, the yes function will charge the retailer for any additional spend beyond the budget, whereas selecting no will allow the campaign to shut off when that maximum budget has been reached. Okay, now we are going to be going over how to view edits which have been requested by a retailer, how to approve those edits. So if I navigate back to Mission Control, you'll notice some alerts have been generated in the brand's account. I can see my first alert that HiIQ has installed those recipe assets, and I can also see that they have requested I change those assets, right? They've installed them, and that they also have made edits which need my approval. So quickly, I'm just going to exit out of these so that we can see what it looks like from the Manage Recipes tab. You'll see here, I can view the recipe. I can now see that retailers are awaiting your approval to send. If I expand that, I'm able to see what retailer has installed these assets. It requires my approval. They're waiting my approval to send, and I can see here that this is not approved. So if I click on this expand button, which is going to say view recipes and requested changes, it is going to take me back to the recipe card where I will be able to view the edits which the retailer have made to my recipe. Okay, view requested changes. So the campaign was edited. If I expand, now as the brand, I'm able to see, okay, what did it look like when I first created it? All right, this is what it looked like. What does it look like now? Please shop below. Okay, I'm cool with those edits. I'm still willing to pay for it. I'm going to now accept these edits, confirm and save changes. Okay, now that those changes have been saved, the retailer will be notified that their edits have been approved, and now the retailer will be free to send that campaign and take advantage of the marketing spend which their vendor has allotted for this marketing campaign.